The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today is what are we? It's the 16th of December 2019. So this will actually be the last Usergroup meeting of 2019 because next week, the 23rd, we are closing the office early and it's our basically office Christmas outing, a meal and drinks and so on for the staff. So we are closed on the 23rd. Sorry, we're leaving early on the 23rd, and on the 30th we are closed between the festive break and the New Year. So I'll still be around on email, of course, as usual, but we won't be available for the webinar. So that's where we're up to on that. Waiting for questions to come in, but in the meantime, I know John, you've got you're working on a particular project which you need my input from my point of view, from the Noyantis point of view. So do you want to take over?
Yeah, I wasn't quite ready to do that, but I can do that.
Well, I know well, if you're not quite ready yet, we can come to it in a second. I know Hans.
I have a question though.
Oh, fire away.
What's that? Go ahead.
We always start with updates. Sorry, we always start with updates.
Do your updates.
And
I'll get ready while you do your updates.
Okay, well, it was only has there been an update released? I don't think we've released an update this last week, but there's two. It's actually three sets of updates actually in progress. They will see the light of day this week before we finish for the festive break, and they will be updates to the command bars, the report control, and the Chillcat wrapper. Okay, so the command bars. Just let me pause my sync. There we go. The command bars is really all to do with. So ignore this ugly app. It's the Clarion test app, but it's all to do with the closing of the pop-ups. So if anyone can remember, just let me open up. We'll have the debugger going here. If anyone can remember, there used to be the issue where you could have a pop-up open and then go off to another application and it would remain basically open. So of course that's now gone. You can see I've got plenty of debug going on. And what we've actually done to help remedy it is, let me just do our test. We could have one particular procedure open. That's a very slow procedure to open because we're currently working on the loading speed. So this is the old way, so you can see how slow that was to load then. And we've got a standard Clarion window here. So no command bars on this. This is just a standard regular Clarion window. And what we needed to do, there was also the problem where you could have a pop-up open. Let's choose that one. Sorry. I have to watch how I come off it, otherwise it will close. Go to the Clarion window and it would basically remain open because this was off on its own frame, off on its own thread and so on. So what we've had to do, it might be that it's a bit overzealous at the moment, that's better, is basically subclass which we do anyway, we subclass the actual main frame and then we intercept the events that are going on it, so that we can tell when you switched from an option on the application frame down to, or on our window on the application frame, or a regular Clarion window like we've got here. So basically that's the update. What's going in is going through testing now, and we also want this speed increase to be released as well. For the report control, I can't demonstrate that at the moment, but it's really, the report control is to do with the save and restore, making that a little easier for you, and the field priming on insert. And I think there was a couple of other little to do with legacy bug fixes on the report control. So they are in dev at the moment as well. They will be a small incremental update, but we'll get that out this week. And the last but not least is we recently did a change to Chillcat regarding zero online accounting. and we looked at the docs for Chilcat, and we found that now it's using OAuth 2, and we're digging through the docs a little more. You get daily limits on Zero, where you can basically you can do API calls 60 per minute. So basically 1 a second is your maximum you're allowed to do, but 60 per minute or 5,000 per day. And after that, if you exceeded those limits, then you would get an error 429, which is I think it is to do with limitations and so on. Well, what the class will do now is after a successful query, it scans the headers and actually Zero return you how many you've got left in your daily limits and your minute limit, and basically it stores those and makes them available to you so that you can, if you're doing your own coding, especially talking to as a service, talking to Zero repetitively, then you'll, as long as you keep track of those limits, then you can query them in the class, so you don't have to keep track of them, class will, and you'll know exactly what you've got left. So basically, gives you the date and the time and so on and so forth when it last did its query, and then what the limits were at that time. So that'll come out this week as well. So they're the updates. So John, are you ready now?
I am. You had a few questions come in though, if you want to do those really quick.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, let me just open the questions. Alan, let's open the mic up. Where are you, Alan? Alan, yes. So your first question, are you there, by the way?
I'm here.
Okay. So you're having GPFs when exiting the program. How is that update doing, addressing that? How is it doing? It's in progress, but literally the code is that's a dual problem, if you will, because I'm working on this particular application, which I've shown many times and so on and so forth. And I think I said last week that I think it's linked to the unloading of the themes. Did I say that last week? I think I did. But I know that was my where some question marks were. And it's not just command bar. I'm also getting it with the docking pane, which I know you use as well, and so on. If you feel free to drop me a message, give or take this time tomorrow and I will have a lot more detailed answer for you. But the themes is definitely having a difference on it, both on the unloading and on the docking pane GPF, because I happen to know if I bring this appointment book into play here, I've just applied a different theme and I could get this to error 100% of the time if I opened my form up, cancelled it, opened the form a second time and cancelled it, and it was to do, well, I think it was to do with it. Oh, now it looks like it's errored. But I've just been on a meeting prior to this with one of the other customers when we were discussing this project, and it didn't GPF. Sorry, I tell a lie. It didn't GPF all of the time. It GPF once during the meeting. So it's the colour theme is having an effect on it. What the answer is, I don't know. But Ultimate Debug's going to help me out there, and I'm just going to keep plodding until I find it.
Well, okay. I've got time to where I can wait.
Well, feel free, to drop me a message tomorrow. That's it's perfectly fine on Skype. Drop me a message and say how is it going, Andy. And believe me, if I've got the answer and I can go from non-working to working, I'll be the one contacting you. So there's absolutely no problem on that because it's actually holding up this particular project as well. So I know it's holding up yours and so on and so forth, but having something that you can recreate it in on command is worth its weight in gold to me. And up until me just changing this color theme while we're playing about, then this would fail 100% of the time. So I'm going to put it back. This is using Office 2013 Outlook. Now, if I put it back to Office 2016 Word light grey, which is what the previous one was, I'm pretty confident I can get that to error every time.
Okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to put in changing themes and changing skins, and I finally just decided to hide those pop-ups for now.
Right.
It's not critical for my app. I just thought it would be fun. But
Well, I want
okay.
to schedule it to have the exact same capability and so on. So we, and so we should, we purchase these products and so on, and we want the capabilities of them. So basically, ask us tomorrow, and if anybody wants to follow the progress of it, I will put the progress of it on the Noyantis chat as well, on the Skype chat, that is. So that
Okay,
was your
no
first
problem.
question.
Yeah, it's not holding me up. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's as we say, it is in hand.
Okay.
So and so is this this closing of the pop-ups, which I don't know if you use that, but chances are, if you have in the command bars, and there was it was to do with basically one, trapping of the events, but basically being able to maneuver away, and it was a pet hate where this you could bring this window into focus. You see, it's gone, but you could bring it into focus, and you'd end up with these phantom pop-up windows hanging around. So there's a lot of time and effort gone into that, but I think we're there now. That will see the light of day hopefully this week with the speed increases.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, watch this space. Okie dokie. Was that the because that was the GPF with both of them? So was that both the questions? I think it is. Just reading now. Said a few weeks ago you was working on addressing that, and I am. Yes. So sorry, I was just catching up on your second question. But yes, it is in hand. Hopefully, this is the week where it'll be ticked off.
Got it. Thanks.
Okie dokie. Cheers, Alan. Hans Rudy, you got a question? Do I have to add the global template to the data app? Well, let's open the mic. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay, there's no option. I don't know if you've dialed in, or no microphone, but there's no option for me to unmute you. So Hans Rudy has asked, do I have to add the global template to the data app or to the exe or in a multi-DLL app? That's okay. Good question. So I'll tell you what I'll do, because let me switch back to the other project. Schedule it. This is a multi-DLL app. Now, sorry. The data app, the only thing, if you're using docking panes, the only thing you will need is the docking panes on there. You don't have these other classes, so don't worry about those. But yes, basically, if you're using docking panes, you will have to add that to your data app, none of the others. And on there, you will say, go to the window manager, tick multi-DLL, and then tick the declared in this application, because this is the main data application which will be exporting the classes and the properties and so on and so forth. So you only have to do that in the data or your dictionary or data app, if you will. Then let's go to say one which has got say browse procedures. So in the browse procedures, so this is just one of the DLLs, but it's not the main data DLL. In there, I'm going to go to that same one. I'm going to define it. I'm going to say it's part of the multi-DLL, but it's declared in another app, which it would be because it'd be picking it up from the data app or the dictionary app in my case. And then if you're using reg3com, turn that off so you don't need it. You don't need it in the DLLs. The only place you would need that is if we go to our main exe. We can see in here, you would want, again, that on, multi-DLL on in another app, and the register would be on for the exe. For the others which are non-multi-DLL and so on, like say report control, then you would only add it to the places it's being used. So like for me, it was the browse procedures, and then I'm using it in there, and on the exe. And on the exe, I have the reg-free com set to use it, and on the others, e.g. browse procedures or update procedures, things like that, then I would have it in there because I'm using it, but I don't need the reg-free com setting. Okay, so that covers, and that is for all of the particular products. You might have noticed a second ago, we have got the new G security. That's going to go the same way as the docking pane, because that is multi-DLL, where you have one central class with all the properties, and you use it throughout your whole application. But that more of that in the new year. But of course, and I know John's going to probably chomping at the bit to say it, but
I'm just being quiet right now.
yeah, but there will be all the products are going to go up to a version 5 when they come to it. I mean, they're all included in your maintenance plans. It's just a numbering. That's all. It's not like you have to redo anything. It's just a numbering system. But basically, there will be. This is one of the things I'm looking at in the downtime between the festive break and the new year. If you want the truth, a CodeJock support template, which is basically takes over the multi-DLL settings. So from version 5 onwards, it's going to be easier for you to do those settings and change those settings. Because just today on this application, as I mentioned, we've changed the theme, changed the version to 19.1 and changed the theme. And of course, I had to go through each one of the apps and do it. Whereas with the new template, the support template, it is the CodeJock support template, we'll only have to add it in one, set it in one place, and it will take effect everywhere. So that will make things a lot easier for you. It's way overdue, as we all know, but yeah, it might be a nice New Year's present. We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, and then we just got one from Bill. Are you using mail slot? Bill, where are you, Bill? Here you go, Bill.
Dealer spike are the primary ones, and it's
Bill.
if you guys handle feed.
No, cut him off. He's talking to somebody else. So, Hans Rudy's just said he can't hear anything. Is that normal? So I think I've just done that whole description for no reason.
You can watch the replay.
Let's just put him out. So in the meantime, I'm going to leave the mic open for him. Oh no, I can't do, because there's no microphone setting.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you answered his question. Okay.
Clarion Live or Noyantis. Okie dokie. We'll try Bill again. Bill, are you
Already have a feed set up.
No, he's there. So, well, we're waiting for Bill, because I don't get it. He said, are you using a mail slot with the app? Does he mean mail shot? We'll find out off Bill in a minute. So, John, over to you now.
Oh, okay. Let me bring the screen over. So this is in the matter of a sneak peek, so I have to verbally NDA everybody who's in the webinar or who might see the webinar.
Right,
Not tell anyone.
Let's look at the names. Okay, right. So I've taken a screenshot of your names. No. Okie dokie.
I don't think I can even do that, but that's so it's okay. It's all right. All right, so
Oh,
Well, there
just
you
one
go.
second. I need to move to put my lights back on again because everything's on motion sensors and I don't even have light switches. You've been here, John, and you've seen what it's like. It's good,
Yeah.
but it's a bit of a bugger when it's these dark nights and everything goes off and I can't see anything. Wow. Okay. Over to you.
Yeah. So this is kind of growing. I don't know who all knows what I'm working on here, but it takes a long time to update things, right? To update templates from everyone, CapeSoft, Noyantis, Ingersoft, doesn't matter, right? You got to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
keep
You have
up
to
on
keep
updates.
track of stuff and everything. Yep.
Yeah. So this is going to be a product. So we're going to be selling this, but it'll automate as much as possible all of the tracking of your applications and what you own and doing installs and all that kind of stuff. So it's multiple pieces. So right now it's 4 applications. One of them is a web server that's going to kind of keep track of when new things are released. And then there's another program that also runs up next to the web server where I can enter information that's not available through APIs, because really the only API at the moment is CapeSoft. And I guess you've got one. It gives me some information, but I haven't actually used it yet, Andy. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the information as much as I can from people.
You'll need 2 APIs off me. One will be just the list of products and their version numbers. And I was going to have that basically have a look at what parameters. These are just sort of PHP scripts, which will just serve the information back to you. But you'll have a look at the parameters coming in, and in its native form, it will just be okay. Here's a list of products that we have, and there's the latest version number. If you do give us your login details, then it will not only return those all of the products to you, but your status, if you will, of each of your products. So basically, are you eligible to download them? Because you might have a expired plan, so and so on. So that's the first API. The second API, I suppose the second API will be for you to physically download a product. And that'll have to be done via the API with the correct login credentials, because we also track the back end of the website who has been logging in and downloading and so on, and we'll still need to feed into that information.
Cool, that would be good. The way I've got this, what you'll be running on your desktop computer. And then there's also a service that runs alongside of it. And the service goes and it does all the checking to see if there's new versions and things like that. And then it will automatically download the installs for you. So, and then it will alert you. So you'll get a little alert at the bottom, one of those little things that pops out. If
I
you
think
decide
you
that's
can
what you want.
control how often it checks in and that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Yep. All that'll be there. So you can do all that kind of stuff. And then the install will just be waiting for you. And then you'll have there's an install, is it here? I don't know. None of these things are what they're supposed to be yet. Nope, it's not that. I don't know what that is. Well, I don't want to do that one. Yeah. Okay. Exceed selection. Yep. So yeah, it'll be nice. So you'll be able to say, I want all these things installed, and it will go through the list and launch them one after the other. And I was trying to figure out how to know when there was a new install, and I figured that out today. So that part's going to be automated too. So it will log when you've installed new things. It'll keep track of maintenance plans. I guess it will remind you when one's coming up for renewal. It will have alerts from vendors. So then this is something, Andy, where I'm going to have it so you and Bruce and whoever wants to can log in and send alerts out that will show up in here.
Yeah, you see that?
Screens.
That's
so you say we have a new build out, or you say, oh, that last build had an issue, you should upload the next one.
Well, do you know, and this is, and I don't, Bruce might get the same said to him. I'm sure he will, But from a vendor's point of view, when we do a build, we put an update on our RSS feed. We put it on our website, obviously. We put it on the news group. We put it on our LinkedIn page, and we put it on our Facebook page. And we still get people contact us and say, you never informed me there was a new build out. And it's a case of we've not done bad.
Right. It goes
We aren't
everywhere.
picking the phone up and going to phone everybody. I mean, I suppose we could do the email and say, and so on. And the next version of Turando, which is our back office system, but it's actually going to become a commercial product. But the next system of the next build, the next version, not the next build, the next version of Turando will actually support that. So we will, if you wanted to go on a mailing list and so on. But if we could talk to this as well, then that obviously makes it. It's just another avenue because we try and make as many people aware, but you still get grief saying that they didn't know. Believe it or not.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, I'll have a login for you that you can do it from a browser. You can just post whatever you need to, and it will show up. Whoever's running this app will get that information. It also keeps track of different versions of Clarion that you might have installed. So I've got 11 and 10. Those are my active ones, and then you might have archived ones. You might want to keep track of those too. But it does a scan.
I was going to say I've got a question on that then, because
go ahead.
On my Clarion, I have one folder. Remember, I synchronize all my Clarions on Dropbox as well, so it can bounce from machine to machine. So everyone's all in sync, or not everyone, all machines are in sync. Now, I have the folder structure is Clarion, then Clarion 10, or Clarion 11, or Clarion whatever. So I do actually. I've archived off 4 to 7, but I still keep 8. 9's been archived. Actually, I don't need that. But basically, yeah, you have a subfolder per version. But then under that, I do have, if required, a subfolder for a particular project should it need it. So schedule it, who we were talking about before. The folder of that is actually Clarion 10, then under there C10 underscore schedule it, and that is its own version because I don't want the template set or anything, or basically I don't want anything to upset that because it's a production application, or it will be. So I don't want any template updates or anything to affect it until I want them to. So will it handle subversions of same version of Clarion, but still different builds of Clarion?
Yes, it will. See where it says Clarion 10 here?
Yeah.
And underneath it, this says Clarion 10 dash, and then this is the path.
Mm-hmm.
You can have as many under here as you want that are Clarion 10s.
Brilliant. So, excellent. So what are you scanning for?
They will each have. Pardon? Well, yeah. Well, I can only do so much, I guess, as far as figuring out where things are. And at the moment, I'm just looking in the registry to see what's been installed. But I know that typically it's installed one time, right? Then you copy things.
I would do, yeah. So I'm doing it.
It has a registry entry. So I have it where you have to kind of manually enter in those other things. I don't think I can find all of the Clarion. I mean, I guess I could scan your entire hard drive, but that might take longer than.
Well, would you have to scan the hard drive, or what about the actual Clarion setup folder itself? Because in there, like in my Clarion 10, you do have the equivalent of where you set all your different versions. Can you not read that file?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's under app data, soft velocity, app data roaming, or user roaming, soft velocity.
Right.
And there's a file in there which stores what your different builds of Clarion are within that version of Clarion.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. But you're storing individual. I mean, that might not catch all your stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, because Clarion needs to know them so you can switch between them. So yeah, I mean, as long as you've got the root of each one of them, like the root.
Right.
Clarion 8,
yeah.
Clarion 9,
if you've done that, sure. Yeah. Some people might just have copied it over, not told Clarion what they are.
Well,
installs.
You could copy them. I mean, I do that if I'm switching. Say I wanted to do a temporary build of, I don't even know, schedule it ABC. And I just wanted I'd copy Clarion 10, C10, schedule it to schedule it ABC. I could copy it. So yes, of course, no registry change, no nothing. But you still have to go into that Clarion and say, okay, I want a new version in there, and it's called C10 schedule it to ABC. And here's its basically its redirect, here's its exe, here's its folders. And that would go into that one file under the Clarion 10 build.
Yes.
So yeah, you'd be able, as long as you can get to the base one, I think you'd be able to scan it
Okay.
by 5 or 6 files. You scan that.
Wow. Okay. I can do that.
So
I can do that. I'm trying to automate as much as possible. So yeah, that's a good tip. I will look in there and see what I can do.
yeah,
But yes, each version of Clarion will have its own templates. Typically, they list all of them that are available, but you can filter it down to just the ones that are installed. Just the ones that you own. So those might be shorter. Things like that. I don't know. It's coming along.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like so far. So these are all docking panes over here. These,
yeah, probably good. That what are you using for the browser there?
This is the, gosh, which one did I use? I think it's the Kojak one. I think.
Looks nice.
Kojak one.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, and this will also, like, these are links, so that this will go to the NetTalk 11 docs page.
Oh, neat. Oh wow, yeah.
Browse it through in there. I might break these into separate pages, so they're on tabs.
When you clicked it, then
so many choices.
I half expected it to open a new tab, but I didn't want to say anything.
Right.
So,
right.
But so you kind of just answered it then.
Yeah. It's just lots of choices, lots of things to do. This will give you more information. But this is kind of nice because I have the components. This kind of thing I kind of have to do by hand. Sometimes I can get that information by going to the websites you guys put together, but I think it's going to be a manual thing. I tell you that it works this and these versions, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I can publish it if you want it part of the thing, but it's going to be the same content because all of ours are
They're all the same.
C6 to whatever, to the latest, and ABC and Legacy. We make sure every product covers it, so we don't really have any, basically any specifics for particular products. So I mean, I can put that as part of a return string if it will help you. That's no problem.
It all helps. Once I get it, the more automated, the more information I get from you, the less work I have to do on the back part.
Okay.
Then the other thing it has too is required things and recommended things. Like on NetTalk, you require string theory and X files, and then these are recommended. And then right now I broke it, but if I click here, it would zero string theory, and
got you. Yep.
Kind of goes down the tree. But I broke it last night. I'll fix it. But so this is nice too. In your case, required would be the Kojak stuff, right?
Yes, or the Chilcat. So on that.
Chilcat, yeah. Exactly.
There is like you what are you on there? NetTalk 11 desktop. So you require string theory free and X files.
Yeah.
At present, we don't do a requirement. There's links. So report control will talk to Chart Pro if you turn the link on inside, but you don't require it. The new G security will run just on its own, but if you do want to use some of the new facilities for the I won't say them now, but some of the new securities, then new features of it, then you will require the Chilcat library. So it'll be the first time we've ever actually had a product require another one, but it will only require it if you want certain features to be enabled. If you don't want them to be enabled, you won't require it. So it'll still do all your logging, your security, and that from that point of view. But if you wanted other particular facilities, then you will require Chilcat.
Okay. I have to figure out how to put that in here. Maybe it'll be over here. It's hard to figure out the trees. Because you got required, recommended, also be compatible with, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure this will come out and then we'll find more things to do with it, right?
Well, you've got to start somewhere. It's got to be a starting point, hasn't it? Yes,
exactly. So anyways, that's kind of how far I am at the moment. I can't really show you it downloading anything yet because it doesn't. It does. I have a test where it downloaded okay, but I don't have that structure built yet.
Well, I think that's your three things you'll need. Dave Bratovich is also mithering for the third, and that is for us to change the installers so that you can pass the parameters in via the command line, so to save you typing them and so on. Now, of course, you will definitely need that because you'll want to be able to run the installer, but with a set of command line parameters to replace each one of the usual prompts, like the serial number, the name, the installation path, so, and whether to register, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's just a matter of me creating it for one. Make sure I'll probably do it with something, maybe the calendar one, or property grid, quite a smaller one for you to test against. Make sure it works. Pass it to you and Dave. Make sure it works, and then as long as you both give me the green light via the command lines, saying that it works via the command line, then I will apply the same change to the rest of our installers. So quite easy to do.
Excellent. Now this leads me to a question.
Okay.
Unless there's any other questions on what I did here.
No, Hans Rudy is now online, but so Hans Rudy, if you can hear us, actually, just open the mic up. Just raise your hand or tell us that you can hear us, because he's now on a different computer. But we did cover your questions regarding the multi-DLL and so on, and they are on the recordings, which you can watch straight back on YouTube, Clarion Live YouTube channel, immediately at the end of the webinar. So fast forward about 10-15 minutes and we're straight to your bit. Okay. Yeah,
so
no question?
Here's my question. I have a question.
Okay.
I have one. So here's the thing. So when I load this up, when I drop this one down, it loads this part on demand. Okay.
Yep.
So it doesn't load automatically. And when I launch the program, I think I want it to come to this list like this.
Okay.
Right? So when I do an expand row on this row, because it starts like that, right? And if I give it the command to expand this row, I think it's set row expanded. That's what it is. I want it to go like that, but it goes like that, and it like that, and like that, and it expands everything, like all the way down. All these things open up when I just wanted to do the one row. So should it be doing just the one row, or do I have to? How do I do it? How do I just get like one or two of these rows to expand without doing everything underneath it?
I think I'd have to have a look in the class, but I think as you're adding the children, then it's adding it with an expanded state of true by default. So basically, as you say, if you...
I'm not, though.
Oh, hang on a second. No, say that again. So when
I add this. So this is added. This row's added in.
Yeah.
Right. And I add the child row. I add this row in here. And I add this row in here. And then I put a blank underneath it so that the plus shows up.
Okay? Right. Okay.
And at that point, everything looks like this if I just ran it. And then if I say set row expanded on this row, then everything expands. Everything.
Right. So.
Which I don't want. I just want this one row to expand to here. And then I want this one row to expand to there. And actually it'll be to there.
So do we have
I just want one row. I just want one row to expand.
Well, I think
every single row.
I think as they've been added, they've got the expanded attribute set to true by default. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, which you don't want.
So I should set the expanded rows to false before I do the one at the top?
I'm trying to find what the code is for contract. No. Expand.
But if I don't tell it.
Before you think, what about if you contract all rows, even though visually it looks like it's all contracted?
Right.
I'm just having a look at what that does behind the scenes. Yeah, so if you did a contract all rows, what it will do is it will just scan down its internal, not its internal queue, the code jock internal memory row counter, and it will go down the the row array. It will go down the row array and set the expander to false if it isn't already. So basically, just try calling contract all rows after you've done your load, after you've done your populate, and then try your plus.
All right, I can do that right now.
Yeah, let's try it. We'll try a drum roll.
Here, I'll bring this over here.
Rudy has raised his hand, so I think that might mean he can hear us. That's good.
Okay. Just resize, do whatever you're doing there. Okay, here we go. Oops. All right, so here it is. Here's all the fun code here, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And that's where I said it expanded. So you want me to
Just do a remote control dot contract all rows.
and then I just want to, this is the very first one at the
First
top.
one, and let's just try that.
All right, see what happens. It's coming along. I'm having this really long pause right toward the end of the make. It's like, come on, just do it. Look at this. It's just like sitting there.
Okay.
There it goes. All right, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll show you. I think it's expanding everything again. Because I'm running it and I'm thinking like, oh, I didn't run it. And then, yeah, okay, so this is what it does. Like everything it's doing these three. And then it's loaded everything in for all these. That's why it takes a while to load it up. But I don't want it to do this.
Okay.
I don't know why it's
Just
doing
put the
that one.
contract after, which should. I mean, you might see a flicker, which you don't want, but just put the contract after, just to see if that does anything.
Okay. Off we go. This is my day. Why isn't it contracting? I don't know.
Yeah, just looking at the code here, just go through. Literally, if a row is expanded, then it sets it to false, which is ultimately contract. So I don't know if this visually does it.
I hide the window until it's all done doing stuff. So
Okay.
See it. Anyway, it's loading. It's not coming up on the other monitor, but it's not there yet. Because it's still loading everything, which I don't want it to do. Okay. It did contract it down. But it still loaded everything up.
Yeah.
Because it gets an event expanded, and then it starts, okay, so like right now everything's loaded, right? But it's getting an event expanded here, and that's when I tell it to load.
So because it's getting an event expanded at that top one.
Right.
So you're getting a event expanded on the clarion right at the top of the tree, which then triggers so on and so forth.
Well, I don't think it does this. But when this gets expanded, it definitely does that. It does this part. Because I load this in, and then it should have a blank under it. When this gets an event expanded on this, then it loads in this. So when I'm saying row expanded here, which you think would just be this row, It's not. It's like expanding everything. That's why I guess I don't get why doesn't row expand? It just expand the row.
What? Show me where you're listening for the event then.
That happens. Come on. There we go. Not there. Docking pane, report control. Here. It's row expanded.
Just 1 second.
That's right. Enter.
Do you know you've got an embed point called row expanded? You don't need to listen for that.
Okay. See what we. I didn't know that.
Because thinking then, you're really at the raw level there, which is fine, but yeah, you don't necessarily need to do it. So there's an actual embed point because it's a virtual method, row expanded, and it will tell you which one's just been expanded.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes life a bit easier to. Yeah. Let's see. Looks like I'm getting a few things out of here.
Well, what is it you need to do there? Do you need all the other stuff? Because all you really need to do is just go and.
I think I don't.
No, I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced I need all this stuff either. I think I just like I don't need any of this, right? Or this, or this.
No.
This is the parameter coming in, right? The row ID.
Yeah. So you just want a case param row ID. Change your case from local type.
Well, I got local type here.
Oh,
I
is
need to
that
know what type it is. Yeah.
get row cell value?
I'll just leave it like this. This is fine. I mean, I
I've
can get
got
rid
it.
of P row ID
I've got it.
probably, but I need to know the type so I know what it's going to do.
Right.
But this should work, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good.
Let's just try that. See what you're getting.
I really like that on-demand loading type of thing. I mean, it's
Yeah, it was you showed it us ages ago, and I put it into a big data mining application, and yeah, we paid dividends.
oh, forgot to get rid of that. There.
Yeah, one more.
Well, that's a whole lot easier.
Yeah, well, when I saw it, was like, very few people get their hands dirty in the event funk because it's a failure if you've had to go in there, or an omission, not failure. But yeah, in this case, you didn't need to.
I was just trying to remember how I did it, and so I went back to the old code before you had that row expanded, I think, and just pulled it out. All right, here we come. Looks like it's still opening everything because it's taken a while. Yeah. So it opened everything, but we have that contract in there, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Oh no, I can't tell now.
Don't know. There was a bit
I
more of a
feel like
pause there, actually.
I feel like all these should have been opened, right? Let me take out that contracted thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know exactly where we're starting with.
Oops. Should I put it before or just take it out?
Do you know where are you doing your add row here? So just scroll up a tiny bit. I don't want to nosy too much in your code, but I just want to see you adding a row. You take it from Clarion Link, get add child row. You're not populating via a queue, via a group. Tut tut tut.
Tut tut tut.
You know it'll do it for you now. It'll even write the group structure for you.
Well, yeah. Well, this is coming off of this is coming
That's fine.
out of a select statement from SQL, right?
Yep.
And I've joined two things together.
That's fine. You're still going to end
I'm
up with
going into
some
a
answers.
queue, right? I'm going to a queue. So you want me to take?
Well, what you could have done there, you got an add row, and then you're doing set row cell value, set row cell value, set row cell icon, so on and so forth.
Right.
Well, all that, I mean, you're manually coding all that. You could have that be done by the group.
How do you do icons? Does a group handle icons or not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
conditional icons like a Clarion bells.
Oh, the group. So you're asking me to learn new stuff. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, let's not
Let's
go thinking, but let's get you expanded working. But yes, right. Just 1 second. Then set row. No. Right. Okay. So here's one thing then. Let's where you've got your add row. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got your add child row. So you've got your add row up there. It's Clarion header. So after that loop. Yep. You've got child rows and you've got child.
I've got children of children. Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem. Right. After you've got, just let me check this here. Set row. We're going to do a set row expanded after your add row. Yeah. Okay. So after you add all the add rows and the add child rows,
Yeah.
do a set row, class name, set row expanded. You want the row ID followed by false. Okay, so you want that after there. You want it after, if you've got after your main add row, of course, as well. Right at the top.
Do you want to? Let's see. We got this one here.
Yeah. Let's put it after that one as well.
After each add child row, right?
Yeah. Going to make sure that they're all contracted. Although the contract all should have done this for us, I'll be honest.
That one's right.
Yeah.
This one.
Hang on. You're setting the row expanded. No, the row ID, add child row. Oh, is that the header? Can't remember.
Yeah, this is the header. This is the very top part here. Where it says Clarion.
Okay. Yeah.
That's that. This is the very first entry up here.
Yeah. So you want to contract that as well.
Okay, so I think that's them. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You still got your contract
You want the populated at the very end.
outside of it all, yeah. And but you've got
contract rows. We don't need that, right?
No.
Okay.
Now you've got a set row expanded? How do you want it? Do you want it just so it says Clarion with the first levels open, or?
This, yeah. I mean, I'd eventually, I think, like to have it. Well, let's just get the first level to open.
Right, okay.
So it'll say Clarion at the top, and then we'll say Clarion 10,
10 and so on
11,
and so
10,
forth.
9, 8, 7. Right, yeah.
Yep.
And
no problem.
I haven't decided if I should have I should probably have it go down one more level, but let's see if we can get this one first. How's that?
It's a tough one. Yeah. Let's just try that.
It's these things that just seem like they should be so simple that just
Yeah,
stop me.
I'm really surprised at
Stop me.
this. To be fair, but well, let's just try this.
Well, that seemed better. Although it didn't open it. But I don't think it loaded everything either. Yeah, see that loaded that time. So it came up faster. So we made some progress, but it didn't open the top level.
Okay, do the populate and then do that set expanded.
Okay, set. I want to get this thing done because I said I wasn't going to update anything else until I had this program done. And there's updates that I want, so yeah, got to finish it. All right, so this time it's taking longer, so I think it's probably loading everything again. Yep, it did. Look.
Okay. Could you already load it? Right, okay. Mind you, the other.
I think you need to make up a quick test app. It's got a report control with 3 children in it. See what happens. See if you can get it to open just 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're on for time. Yeah. Should we do that?
We could. I mean, I think I could work around it, but I wonder if there's just a better way.
No,
I mean, I could watch for the very first row expanded or something and not do it, and I don't know. But I think if you could get a sample, it'd be faster
Let's do
than going this way.
no, under. Crikey. Webinars, report control, that'll do. Under there. Okay, try that. Don't really matter. None of that. Right. Okay. So we're going to have a report control. I'm not even going to choose a theme for it, okay? Because I just use one of the built-in ones. So whatever. Come on, XP. That'll look dog ugly, but you'll get the idea.
Okay.
Oh, not that one. Um, text. Can't see if we're looking. There we go. Right, that and a close button. And then we want our report control. Now, watching with the icons and stuff, yeah, as well. So I'm going to want a report control. That's as good as any, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Just going to do the settings in here. So what did you have from a columns point of view?
For columns, I just had, mostly it's just description. That's all we're seeing. It's just one column. Then I'm putting the information across on just the one column.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that was it. Then my row ID is just my GUID of whatever the record is that I'm showing.
Okay.
So there's other things that I track as well, but the main thing that you're seeing is just that description.
Well, it's just what you mentioned in icons, that's all.
Right, and it has icons across from it.
I'll put a type in there. We'll come back to that afterwards. Yeah. Fine. So first of all, description.
Oh yeah, there was a type too, right? Exactly, the type of row there was.
Yeah. So we want to get some data in there to start with. Oh, hang on. So we put it in the data load. No, I'll put it in the init complete. Oh, I'm going to go on better. I'm going to put it under our own button so we can control what's going on. Okay. Report control. Should be a delete all rows.
Yeah.
Yep, delete all rows, and I don't want it to refresh. Now, okay, one bit at a time then. In fact, no, it's not. I'm going to go to our report control. Automatically declare the group. Yep. So now it's going to create me a group structure. Okay. Let's scroll down. There it is. It automatically puts in an ID for you because it's going to need that description and type.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
So basically, so I think somewhere along the lines of dot. Right. Rec ID equals master for the very top. Okay.
Okay.
Have that handy. Description equals. You add yours as Clarion, and I don't know what your type's going to be.
Just say header.
Okay, so we're going to need something like
This would be a type of Clarion.
oh, would it? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. In fact, actually, it would have been better copying that one, wouldn't I? Oh, bugger. Just thought of something. Just 1 second. Yeah. So that we want to do there is report control, add row. That can be its record ID, even though it's part of its structure. Okay. Add row. We don't want to refresh, and yeah, we want to pass it that. And then on this one, it would be add child row. Parent would be master. That would be the rec ID. We don't want that. We do want that. Let's just see that. Make sure we've got a compile and we're happy with that. That should make a difference. Why wouldn't it like that group? It's only a group. A clear and an add.
You don't have to add a group.
Oh, crikey.
You have to add a queue.
Yeah. It's because I spend so much time doing the queue population on it. Yeah, sorry. So we populate that'll add, and it'll do it all in one swoop. Oh, I never did a populate, did I?
Yeah, I sat here and watched you do it. And I didn't say anything. Alejandro caught it too.
Yeah, Clarion. I didn't say that could have a tree, did I? Forgot about that.
Alejandro, he booked his flight to Africa.
I saw, yes. Yeah, very good. Okay, see, but that was contracted by default.
Right. Yeah, it's contracted by default.
So why do yours keep opening? That's the strange one.
Because I told it to. I said expand. I said expand set row expanded for that top row.
Oh, okay.
But the trick here is if you add the third row in, is it going to expand all three rows instead of just the first top two? Or the first one should be expanded, so you should see two rows, not three rows.
Got you.
To add this next part in.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a Clarion 8. Okay, so we've got that all. So we're gonna have 11, 10, 9, 8.
Okay, that's plenty. Yeah.
Oh,
now I need to add children of that. Each one of those needs a child.
Okay. So then, basically along the lines of, and what would you have under here?
You have it's your own local copy of it, so it would be like a path to your Clarion or local Clarion, whatever you want to call it, local C11,
Okay.
anything like that. Just so
Default
you know it's different.
C11. And
There you
and what's your type? Is that still Clarion?
I call it a Clarion link, because that's the name of my table.
Tell you what I'm going to do. That's our master.
Yep, looks right.
Clarion links, that's default, and then I'm going to have my C11 Turando. Guy already wants to be, don't want to be C11. That wants to be C11 default. Turando, kind of thing, that kind of thing. Under C10, just going to have one child. This can be C10. Schedule it. Okay. Okay. That's kind of what we want.
Yes. Now what you really want is just the first two to be expanded. The first one to be expanded. That's what our goal is here.
So, report control, set row, expanded. We're just going to try master, which is kind of what you were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I need a true on it.
Here's will probably work, and then see, everything comes down. I'm telling you, that's wrong. That's wrong. It clearly said set row expanded, not every row.
Right, okay. I wonder, as a test, actually, no, it's just no,
I'm telling you. I know.
I've done this. Right, just 1 second. I've done
I feel like
that,
I've done it, but I guess.
but I'm gonna not show it on the screen because it's a application which I don't have the rights to show people the source code of. Well, sorry, I have the rights, but they are exclusive to one client, if you will. But that's no problem. I'm just going to open up. I get really lazy. I open the app up in TextPad, which means you get lots of rubbish, but I can still find the embedded code. Do you know in the other one, I do a populate, and then we set row expanded to true. Right, won't be a second then, John. You
Okay.
just got me this now.
It's just
Okay, them icons are hideous. Don't know where it's picking its icons up from, but yeah, not good. So all I want to see is before and after. Expanded, no, no, and true. And of course, as we know on yours, it will do the contract. That's interesting. It didn't actually contract that row. Needed that overpopulate.
Okay.
So it looks like the expand contract is a it's a visual property. Okay then. What you want to do on yours then, John, because what you don't want to do is I'll tell you what, just have a local queue and we'll echo out the queue of what's been expanded, yeah? Oh my days. So you've got some code in your row expanded, is that correct?
I do. Right. Yes.
I was going to put a clarion list on there and we can see what it thinks has been expanded. C11 get expanded twice. See, look what you've opened up here, John.
What's that? Hey, isn't this one of my like really easy questions, right? And then
That's right, yeah. So nothing's been
spend, like,
expanded.
months on
Just Master's been expanded. Just C11 have. Just C10 have. And that has been again, and so on. But doing that does open them all, as you say. So what do we want it to open us as that? That correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Technically, you're going to see it paint all, but you won't get it loading any. So something like so.
Yeah.
Nothing's been expanded so you won't get no loading. And what I've done there is I turn off the processing of the callbacks, which will stop that from the embed point from triggering. Yeah, basically the embed point loaded. So if I expand that now, you will get them being reported back to you. And if I close it,
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little trick, isn't it?
yeah, so you will get them then. So very powerful, but really, really, really used with caution. But basically, it tells the class to stop reporting anything back to you. The code job control will still report it to us, but we just won't pass it on to you. Turn off the processing. I don't know if you need that populate there. Not sure. I think you might do to get all the rows in there in the first place. Yeah, I thought you might. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the processing. I'm going to paint the report control with its content, expand the master, but contract the first level children, if you will. Populate to, I'm not sure you need that one actually. And then turn the processing back on again. There.
Okay. Well, that'll work.
Do you want
It still doesn't seem right, does it?
Oh, you wanted icons. Icons.
Oh, and icons too. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Icons on local. Make sure I've got this right now. Okay, so there's our report control. Got a column. on the type. And icon. No default icon, but yeah, you use icons. No default icon. I'll tell you what I will do. I normally have a blank icon, so blank icon. But if the condition, so group type equals Clarion link, then it wants to equal nys.icon. We're not going through the data load. Oh, okay, well that's no problem. You could just do it that way yourself. You're not going through the data load, though, because we're just manually doing it in here. Yeah. Something like so. Joe's a bad icon, like, but yeah. Okay, if you was going through you would do it on the column definition. Oops. Turn on yes using icons, which will create you a field in the group structure of that _ icon.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if it was going through the data load embed point, it would write the code for you, and I'll show you in a second. Set it to blank by default, and then set it to whatever under condition. But we're not going through the data load. We're just manually doing it. So I'll show you the generated. Skip ours. That's where it would normally go through, pass through here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's coming from a queue or a table or whatever. So that's how it would populate it. We're not. We've just got our own code. So we don't need the condition. We can just write it accordingly. So I said blank icon for these and we'll just have that as a insert. Oh no, because I've only compiled in NYS. Yeah, so basically like so.
I had a request for you.
Yeah.
If you go back to that set row where you just were you filling in the row to the group.
In here?
No, in the source. You were just there.
Oh,
it was where it was doing it for you automatically. Set row content. Yes. Okay, so you see where the type is Clarion link there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just playing with this because I think this is great what you've done here. But a lot of times I'll have like a local variable that will have say words in it instead of a number. So say the Clarion type was 1 there, and I wanted to say Clarion link on the screen. Okay, in Clarion I would put in a local variable and assign that. But in Noyantis, I could have the value be 1 and the caption be Clarion link. So I was wondering if there was a way you could do that, or what you recommend the way to do that. is I put in a local variable, but the local variable wasn't. What did I have to do? I don't know. I got through it, but
Um,
is that making sense? You know, like you'll have a true or false, and you want it to actually say the words
Yeah.
true and false, but the value stored is 1 and 2. You don't want it to show 1 and 2 on the screen. You want it to show true and false on the screen.
okay.
I didn't know if you had a way to do that, but I know that I
Yeah.
could just change the caption.
So, for example, titles. Okay, that's male. So a doctor can be. Oh, that's not my data. I'm not getting. So, Mister would be male. Mrs. would be female, kind of thing. Like so, with Reverend could be Eva. Doctor can be Eva. Actually, but
Right.
someone who's played
But your
data.
data might just be M and F, right?
It is. The data in there is M,
Right.
F, and E.
Okay.
So in that scenario, what is wrong with my SQL Server? I've changed it to a different machine. Do you see how slow that was? Okay, so what I've done in that is I hot filled in the title TI, the TI gender. I have a local column, and I just set it in the set the wording just like you would with like a set queue record in a Clarion browse, that kind of thing. I can show you the code if you like. It's just in our example. There's that crash. Let me show you in schedule it. We set up. So here's your browser titles. So I've got the title, and then I've got LC for local column, gender. Okay. Now, in my data source, I hot filled in the gender.
Right. I think this is what I ended up doing.
Yeah. So you would have to hot field it in, which is
right.
Like you're doing your set queue record, set a local variable in Clarion, in a Clarion browse, but you just don't need the local variable because your column is your local variable. So under here, set row content, I'm just doing a case on the hot fielded value in and setting the local column for my group structure, which is written for me. And
Right.
it's that what gets displayed.
Cool. But what would be really cool is if
you're saying the value.
That was the caption and the value was still underneath it, because then
I've got you.
Automatic, you know. I mean, I wouldn't have to look two places for one value. Does that make sense? I guess.
Yeah.
For one thing.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. Yeah. Could do
that's
that.
one thing that's pretty nice about the report control is that you can, you know, the value underneath could be where it's sorting, and your caption can be.
Well, Clarion dates are
Clarion
dates are the blatant obvious
exactly.
option there, because they're stored as a Clarion date. Where's our say day list? Oh, day list is pretty boring because it's just going to think. But basically, the time, that's a Clarion time, but what's visually on display is something different, and the dates are the same. So each cell does have two, as you say, two options in there, caption and value.
Yeah, which is that's a really good example with the time or a date on there, because it won't sort it if that's your value as well. So, yeah,
that's no problem. Yeah, because what we could do, going back to where you define this, is on the column definition, let you still specify the, for want of a better term here. Hang on a second. What was the size? This isn't the latest. Oh, right, yeah, that's definitely not the latest. Let you specify the title, as in the gender, let you specify that and give it the name, so on and so forth. And just as you do here with the icon, give you another option to say what the runtime word, basically use icons with this cell, use derived wording with this cell, with this cell content, and it will still define you. The content will still go into the correct column from a caption, from a value point of view, but it would define you the extra field, just like you've got here.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Just, because I know you're not so busy right now. You can add these
Yeah,
things in.
something like, that's our example a second ago where it automatically generated you an underscore icon. We could have you generate an underscore caption.
Yeah, there you go.
So you still have to
That'd be really nice.
set it yourself under condition, that kind of thing, in the set queue content, because only you know how you're going to translate your values, M to male, F to female, or 1 to text message, 2 to email, that kind of thing. Only you know how you translate your own stuff, but that's part and parcel of your application design.
Yep. No, that'd be really nice, especially like you just showed for dates, times, male, female, anything where you're storing something different than what you want them to see. That'd be great.
Yeah, I've got to admit, that wouldn't be, how could we do that there? Set the row cell. So what would go into that? Wouldn't be that hard to do. I'll see if I can jot that in this week. Let me make a note. Where are we? Because there's a report control coming out this week. Report control underscore caption. I know exactly what I mean by that. Yeah, because we do it, and it'll actually make some of the settings in here easier as well. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. That can go.
Yeah, but I'll tell you that what you've done here with all those settings, and makes it so much easier to use. It's getting very close to Clarion browsers as far as ease of use to throw something together in a template.
Oh yeah, I mean,
as compared to before, we had to do so much job.
Oh, there was so much work.
Stuff. Yeah,
if we look at, where's this one? The appointment book, day list. Mentioned it a second ago. This is your appointments for today, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a report control, and the reason I chose that is it's quite a busy list. Got a lot of linked information, so your icons indicate that they are linked information. You've obviously got colorings going on here with icons, and they aren't compiled in because the user gets to change these at runtime, these colors. So if I was to go and change location, hoof weight, hang on a second. Go back to my day list. Someone's got Wengle to change some stuff the other day. She changed stuff. Okay, patient. I can do a patient type. So patient ambi. So HSF. So if I was to change the color for HSF to like so. Okay, so what that's actually doing behind the scenes is it's writing you a different icon out to a local store. And the day list is just picking that icon up. So there's mine, just been refreshed. So you've got a lot of stuff going on here, and to build it, there's hardly any code. So yeah, we've got our table, filter, because I'm using filter because it's SQL, so it should be a bit more efficient when it gets to the back end. But it's hot field, so it's a hot field, so usual thing, hot field in certain fields, hot field in the local, but it's not part of, that shouldn't be part of the view. Join tables, normal stuff. And then you just go off and set them accordingly. Paint them just like you would the listbox formatter. I desperately wanted to get the visual of this done because I've not given up on giving you the button there of the equivalent of listbox format. So you can just, it will pass to a separate exe or create for you all the tables that are in use. So it'll know that table and your join tables and their schematics, so that when you go to here, it will pop up what tables are available to you, and you can just draw it visually. And when you come out, it will write this for you.
Well, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty nice.
Well, we're all so used to list box format. Nobody likes going into here, and then especially you keep having to
Yeah,
run it. Is this big enough? Is this big enough? Is this big enough? So no, I want it. So
yeah,
basically, I can just bring up it visually, paint what I want where I want it, and then with the column sorting, so you can see, oh, that's wide enough. No, it's not because I can't see how it's sorted. So that's how wide I want it to be, and it can write that information back. So all it'll have to do is there'll be a small delay because it has to write an external file and then pass it to the exe. So, but that's on the to-do list as well as a visual creator for the command bars as well.
Oh, nice.
So
And multi-DLL, of course, is first.
multi-DLL is first. It's first, so don't worry about that. So,
Right.
but no, that's the other thing. I'll try and get them unveiled. Actually, it'd be nice to have them by CIDC 2020. It'd be nice to have them then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, but we're getting there. Lots of other toys. The other things which are going in this week are your field priming on insert. So you've got the
Oh,
related
good.
record, and you've got your update procedure. But we do need there's no place. Well, there is an embed point for you because it goes via the data loading. Sorry, not that one. There is the report control data underscore because it's all to do with the data, of course, and it's prime record. Here's one I prepared earlier. But I don't want to. I don't want you having to basically embed code. What we
Yeah.
need to do is get it via the template. So that's just going to go in this week. Field priming and insert, and the other. And actually, if people are paying attention, I could do with people's opinion on it. Actually, so currently, John, you probably use it. Is the save and restore? Okay, and if you want to do the options, I can't remember where it is. My template, and I can't remember where it is. Save and restore under options. You say what field it is you're saving it in. Are you saving your grouping and your sorting, so on and so forth, and what to do with new columns or with missing columns. But you then still have to go and put code in certain embed points. The file, where are they? File insert, so on and so forth. Because historically I've never done your data IO for you, and I'm actually thinking on this. I'm going to give you the option of where I will do it all for you, so you won't actually have to do anything. So the template setting, we've got to keep it backwards compatible, of course, because people have got code in here. But basically under options, save and restore, I'm going to have an option there of basically manual or automatic. And if it's automatic, on the global setting, on the global template, it'll ask you a couple of settings, which it'll need to know. How do you want to store your settings? Are they per user? Are they per procedure? That kind of thing. And it will just go off and write all of the saving and the loading for you, so you won't actually do anything. But it'll have to store them in a. I'd like you to store them in a JSON, but there's no built-in JSON thing, so it'll have to be a TPS table.
I mean, Softlossy has JSON there.
Yeah, but not back in Clarion 6.
You need to stop supporting that. Just stop.
You're
just enabling people. You're just enabling them. Don't do that.
You wouldn't believe how many people still. I don't know how many. We still get a lot. I mean, there's people this last month where we've picked up customers who've bought the suite. They're still going, which is good for me. But yeah, they're only just making the move from C55. That was customers this last week. They've got two apps, one in C55, one in C6, and they're just coming up to C11 now. So,
but they're coming up to C11. That's okay. They need to do that so they can get this feature to save and restore layouts. Otherwise, just start ticking things off where it says, "Oh, still have C55," and it just disables everything.
Actually, do you know what? That I could actually do. You make a very good point there. I could actually do that. I can. When was the JSON, the built-in JSON added to Clarion? Was it C7, C8?
That was a long time ago, I think. I don't know.
'Cause I would prefer, because they're not.
I mean,
They're hardly encrypted
don't punish the
information.
rest of us, right? Don't punish the rest of us.
So, well, the thing I'm thinking on the global template would be, one, the path of where you want to store them. So it's up on a server, or do you want to store them locally per user, that kind of thing. So there's some kind of path, and then the information of how do you store them? Do you store them per user? It's obviously per report control, because you could have multiple report controls on the same screen. So it's per report control, per procedure. But do you store them per user? And it's that kind of filtering. So I need to know, do all your users get the same layouts? Or, which is a bit, I'd be upset if you had that, because somebody else can go and change your screen for you. So personally, I wouldn't do it that way. But you never know. So I have to allow for them. So I'm thinking I'll just prompt at a global level, and you'll just control it at that level. And hey presto, making it as simple as possible. For me to go in here, I could just do turn on save and restore and use automatic, and that's it. Walk away.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
So you make a very good point. I could turn the facilities off for the versions of Clarion that didn't include JSON, and then I could store them as just JSON.
There you go.
Yeah, cheers for that. And then that does mean if people are still using C6 and if C7 didn't support it, C7, then that's reason for them to upgrade to at least C8 or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, well that was worth bringing up anyway then.
Yeah, there you are.
So yes, so you've learned a couple of things. There will be a visual designer to it. It's perfectly plausible, that thing. What we're just saying. And then the beauty of it is, if it did go off what's passed to and from, which would be a temporary file, then you could actually grab that temporary file should you ever need to manipulate it.
I like it. Sounds great. It sounds like the year 2020 is something to look forward to.
It is, and there will be the early release of G Security. I do want to pencil some time in on the Friday, but I'll pencil it in after I see how I've gone on the festive break. Festive break is not really much of a break, is it?
Never is.
But it's away from the office. I get to put my feet up on the sofa, and then I can really be in my element, and that's the whole point. Right, well, with that, we are touching. Oh, did you want that sample, what we just created a second ago?
Yeah, if you don't mind, drop that. That'd be cool.
I'll drop it on Skype now. So we'll start wrapping up. So this will be the last one of 2019. Neil said 2020 then, of 2019. So thank you everybody for attending, not just today, throughout the year and all the time, and your feedback. All of it's welcome. So if nothing else, for those who celebrate, hope you have a very good festive break, festive period, and all the best for the new year. So cheers everybody.
Bye everyone.
Cheers. Thank you.